Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next hour. Blast near Red Fort in New Delhi. 8 feared dead, several injured. Prime Minister Modi condoles the loss of lives in the blast, reviews the situation. Home Minister Amit Shah visits the blast site. President Draupadi Murmu addresses the Angolan National Assembly, highlights women empowerment in India through grassroots democracy, addresses members of the Indian community in Angola. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a 2-day visit to Bhutan. The visit aims to strengthen special ties of friendship and cooperation between the two countries. US senators reach a deal to resume federal funding and end the 40-day government shutdown. And Donald Trump threatens legal action against the BBC as its chairman apologizes for error of judgment in US President's speech edit. Sad news coming from New Delhi. 8 people have been killed and at least 21 injured after a blast ripped through a car with explosives. I beg your pardon, a blast ripped through a car near Delhi's historic Red Fort. The Delhi Fire Services received a call regarding the explosion near the Red Fort Metro Station Gate number 1 at around 7 p.m. The blast took place in a car near Delhi's Red Fort on Monday evening. Several other vehicles also caught fire and sustained damage in the explosion. The area was cordoned off following the explosion. Home Minister Amit Shah directed Delhi Police, NIA, NSG, National Investigation Agency, National Security Guard and Forensic Science Laboratory to investigate the incident. India's premier terror probe agency, the National Investigation Agency and the National Security Guard are on the blast site. Mumbai, Kolkata, Jaipur, Haryana, Punjab, Hyderabad, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand are on high alert, and so is Bihar, which is set to vote in the second and final round of polling on Tuesday. Authorities in Kerala have also directed the police to strengthen security across the state. Delhi Police Commissioner Satish Golcha gave the official statement earlier in the evening.
करीब 6:52 पे एक यहाँ पे रेड लाइट पे एक स्लो मूविंग व्हीकल जो रेड लाइट की तरफ आके रुका था, उसमें एक ये एक्सप्लोजन हुआ है। उस वक्त गाड़ी के अंदर जो पैसेंजर्स उसके अंदर ही थे और इस एक्सप्लोजन से जो है आसपास की गाड़ियों में भी क्षति हुई। जैसे ही इसकी खबर मिली, हम सारी एजेंसीज जो है दिल्ली पुलिस, FSL, NIA, NSG, उनकी टीम्स यहाँ पे आ चुकी हैं और हालात का जायजा भी ले रही है। हर तरीके से इस जो है एक्सप्लोजन के बारे में जांच की जा रही है और जल्दी ही इसका आकलन करके इसका जो भी रिजल्ट निकलेगा वो आपको बताया जाएगा। इस इंसिडेंट में कुछ लोग को इंजरीज भी आई हैं और कुछ लोगों की डेथ भी हुई है, तो वो अभी हालात का जायजा लिया जा रहा है और एग्जैक्ट फिगर्स जो हैं आपको कुछ ही देर में बता दी जाएंगी और सिचुएशन को रेगुलरली मॉनिटर किया जा रहा है और गृह मंत्री जी भी जो है उनसे रेगुलरली उनका फ़ोन भी आया था, उनको रेगुलरली ब्रीफ किया जा रहा है और उनको टाइम टू टाइम पूरी सूचना दी जा रही है और आगे जैसे भी हालात होंगे, जो भी नतीजा निकलेगा आपको बताया जाएगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi took stock of the situation in the wake of the blast in New Delhi and spoke to Home Minister Amit Shah, according to sources. The sources said that Prime Minister took an update on the situation. Later, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a social media post on X, expressed his condolences to those who have lost their loved ones in the blast in Delhi earlier this evening. He hoped that may the injured recover at the earliest, and those affected were being assisted by authorities. Prime Minister Modi reviewed the situation with Home Minister Amit Shah and other officials. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took stock of the situation in the wake of the blast in New Delhi and spoke to Home Minister Amit Shah. According to sources, the sources said the Prime Minister took an update on the situation. Home Minister Amit Shah later said that probe agencies were investigating all possible angles in connection with the blast. He said that he had spoken with the Delhi Police Commissioner and the head of the special branch regarding the incident and confirmed that all major investigative agencies were present at the site.
आज शाम करीब 7 बजे दिल्ली में लाल किले के पास सुभाष मार्ग ट्रैफिक सिग्नल पर I-20 हुंडई गाड़ी में एक ब्लास्ट हुआ है। ब्लास्ट के कारण आसपास की कुछ गाड़ियां और कुछ मार्ग पर जा रहे लोग भी इंजर्ड होने के समाचार हैं। प्राथमिक सूचना जो मिली है उसमें कुछ लोग हताहत भी हुए हैं। ब्लास्ट की सूचना आते ही 10 मिनट में दिल्ली क्राइम ब्रांच, दिल्ली स्पेशल ब्रांच की टीमें स्पॉट पर पहुंची है। NSG और NIA की टीम FSL के साथ अभी गहन जांच करने का शुरू किया है। आसपास के स्थान के सभी CCTV कैमरा और बाकी सब चीज़ों की जांच के आदेश दे दिए हैं। मेरी CP दिल्ली से भी बात हुई है, स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज से भी बात हुई है। CP दिल्ली और स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज स्पॉट पर मौजूद हैं। हम सभी संभावनाओं को तराश रहे हैं और सभी संभावनाओं को ध्यान में रखकर इसकी गहन जांच की जाएगी।
Home Minister Amit Shah is at the blast spot when reports last came in. Due to the blast, 8 people have lost their lives. So 8 people are dead and 21 injured after a blast in a car near Red Fort on Monday evening. The blast took place in a Hyundai I-20 car at 6:52 near the Red Fort metro station. The incident wrecked cars scattered in the busy area. Delhi Police Commissioner, as we heard, said that the vehicle was a slow-moving one that came to a halt at the Red Fort Delhi traffic signal. And following the blast, a high alert has been sounded in Delhi. Later, Home Minister Amit Shah visited the LNGP hospital to meet those injured in the blast near the Red Fort metro station on Monday evening. The injured were taken to the LNGP hospital a few kilometers away. Hours after the incident, Amit Shah, accompanied by senior police officers and doctors, met the injured at the hospital. He also visited several wards of the hospital and wished for a quick recovery of the injured. So, several injured were admitted to the LNJP hospital with burn injuries. The anti-terror squad and the Delhi Police Special Cell are on the spot to assess the situation. And as per latest reports, Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta is also visiting the LNJP hospital in New Delhi. Home Minister Amit Shah said that all angles are being investigated with Delhi Police Special Cell Crime Branch, NIA and FSL teams on the ground. He has briefed Prime Minister Modi and is heading to the site. A high-level meeting will be held tomorrow morning at the Home Ministry.
दिल्ली में आज लाल किले के पास करीब शाम को 7 बजे हुंडई i20 कार में एक ब्लास्ट हुआ है और ब्लास्ट के कारण कार और कार के आसपास की 3-4 व्हीकल और खड़े हुए लोग, ऑटो में बैठे हुए लोग इंजर्ड भी हुए हैं और कुछ मृत्यु भी हुई है। अस्पताल के सूत्रों के अनुसार अब तक 8 लोगों की मृत्यु हुई है। कुछ लोग इंजर्ड हैं, इनका इलाज यहां पर चल रहा है। हम सभी एंगल को खुला रखते हुए इसकी गहन जांच शुरू कर दी है। जैसे ही ब्लास्ट की सूचना मिली, दिल्ली पुलिस स्पेशल सेल, क्राइम ब्रांच, एनआईए की टीम, एसपीजी की टीम, एफएसएल की टीम मौके पर पहुंच गई है और सभी प्रकार की जांच हम तेजी से कर रहे हैं। कुछ ही समय में मैं आशा करता हूं कि धमाके का कारण क्या है उसके निर्णय पर हमारी एजेंसियां पहुंच जाएगी और एफएसएल की सीनियर मोस्ट टीम भी यहां पर पहुंची। धमाके की सूचना आने के बाद तुरंत ही माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का मुझे फोन आया था। उसके बाद प्राथमिक इंफॉर्मेशन लेकर मैंने प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी ब्रीफ किया है। अभी यहां से मैं घटनास्थल पर जाने के लिए निकल रहा हूं और कल एक बड़े सवेरे ही सीनियर लोगों की टीम के साथ गृह मंत्रालय में बैठक कर इसकी डिटेल जांच की जाएगी। हम सभी एंगल्स को ओपन रखकर सभी दृष्टि से जांच कर रहे हैं। घटना किस कारण से हुई ये अभी कहना बहुत मुश्किल है। जब तक विस्फोट के स्पॉट पर से जो स्पेसिमेंस मिलेंगे, इसका जब तक एफएसएल का एनालिसिस, एनएसजी का एनालिसिस नहीं होता, इसके बारे में कुछ भी कहना दिक्कत है। मगर हम किसी भी एंगल को बंद नहीं मानते हैं। सभी एंगल का हम दृढ़ता के साथ आगे जांच करें।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also posted on X. He wrote, "The car blast incident in Delhi is extremely painful and disturbing. At this moment of immense grief, I extend my sincerest condolences to the families of the deceased, praying for the speedy recovery of those injured." DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya remains stationed at the blast site near the Red Fort. Hi Tapas, what details have emerged about the cause of the incident and the number of people dead and injured in the explosion so far?
Okay, so there are a couple of questions you have just shot. So first, we still to identify the reason because it's under investigation. The preliminary report that preliminary information that we got was a CNG blast, but the agencies, the security agencies are going is actually making sure that they cover all the angles. So they're not going ahead and stating anything so far. We will get more details as when the security agencies come up with their own theory. But second, the point I want to push here, there's Delhi Police, the LNJP Hospital and Delhi Fire Service and Ambulance Service and AIMS Trauma Center have come up with their own helpline number. Delhi Police 112, that is there, that's for 24 hours. Delhi Police Control Room is there, and the number is 22910010. LNJP Hospital has also come up with their own emergency number, that is 23233400. Delhi Fire Service, that's 101. The Ambulance Service is 102. And AIMS Trauma Center has also come up with their own number, So that's one part of it. The other part I would like to mention here is that the blast which took place, the I-20 car, where the blast actually took place, the RC of that particular car has been recovered. It's registered under Mohammed Salman, but we've been told that he has sold the car to someone else, and in Gurugram, and then Okla to Ambala. So now Delhi police has actually, we've been told that by our sources that Delhi police is now connecting the dots. So from Okla to Gurugram to now Ambala, Delhi police have gone all these places. They have deputed their team to verify the facts, whether there is anything else beyond what meets the eye, and so they have deputed the team for that. In the meanwhile, as I mentioned, the different states which have put high alert for their particular states, Delhi's border states have also done the same. 2 people who have been identified out of the 8 so far, and as per my sources, one of them is named Amar Kataria, the other is Srinivas Puri. That's the name that we have been given by our sources from there. So out of the 8 who have died, 2 we get the numbers of 2 of the people. So the list have been there is a list that has been come out that has come out from the Delhi police and the other sources. So we are going ahead giving you the information based on that. We are still asserting whether this is an act of terror, whether this is an act of an accident. That still needs to be ascertained. That still needs to be thoroughly investigated. So Delhi police as well as NSG and the other agencies have actually working on that. So that's the latest from here.
Okay. And any measures that have been directed by the Delhi police to enhance security across the state?
In fact, there's a high security that they have in fact pushed Delhi's status to high security zone, because most of the place, in fact all the area that I'm currently covering, we see Delhi police personnel, and my sources in the police also have been telling me, along with my colleague Mukesh Shukla, who is covering this particular incident quite thoroughly, that special attention has been given, and they're checking the border areas, they are checking the critical areas where they have they tend, Delhi police and other police for investigating agencies tend to have those areas which they believe are quite critical. So all these areas have been given extra security. Delhi Metro for once, Delhi Airport, CISF have which generally man these areas. They have also put a high alert mode for all these areas. So Delhi is right now under immense police security, be it CISF, be it Delhi police, be it other agencies. So that's one part of it. Delhi border areas, Delhi's other neighboring states are also pushing the status to absolutely high security risk status. So that's one part of it also. Places like Gujarat, places like Maharashtra, Haryana, they are also putting a lot of stress on police patrolling high security. In fact, they have put it to high security also. So most of the states are taking no stone unturned to make sure that no incident take place, and they're keeping their finger crossed, and putting the police and the investigating agencies are working overtime to make sure that no incident take place under their watch. So that's one part of it. As we mentioned, as we talk right now, there's a somber mood in the national capital. We can say this that 8 people have so far lost their lives. There are plenty of people who are injured. They are admitted in the hospital, LNJP hospital, and other places. And as I mentioned, Delhi Chief Minister also went to visit those and if they require any help or not. And we saw Union Home Minister Amit Shah also visit the hospital as well as the spot. As I mentioned, I still have those NSG van out here they are also working to understand exactly the cause and the impact of that. As I mentioned, there is no crater that developed, but one thing is there that the car that we are talking about, I-20, that was destroyed, and the idea for the forensic team, they will be having their hands full to piece together this jigsaw puzzle and to understand exactly what has happened in that particular time from 6:45 onwards, that we are talking about. It's 6:55 when the first call for the blast went through. We are trying to ascertain what exactly happened at that time, and that's one of the reasons why all the CCTV of the area have been taken into custody, and they're trying to understand what really happened at that time. Tanvi.
Yes, Tapas, we are also flashing these helpline numbers issued by the Delhi police and the LNJP hospital on our screens now. You talked about the car. Were there any occupants in the car when the blast took place?
Yes.
And do we have information about
saying that,
yes, about the number of dead? I mean, do they include these people?
Yes. In fact, they are the one who they're trying to ascertain their identity. They're the one who have been declared dead so far in that particular list. So we still have to identify them. The Delhi police is trying to identify them with the with state-of-the-art DNA testing methodology, but that will take some time. As I mentioned, that 2 people have so far been identified. We expect more people to be identified. As I mentioned, my colleague Mukesh Shukla, he has been helping me and our office. He have also mentioned that fact that 2 people have been identified. One is Amar Kataria and the other is Srinivas Puri. Ashok Kumar Amroha from Srinivas Puri. So Amar Kataria is from Delhi, and Ashok Kumar Amroha, who's the second person whose disease is from Srinivas Puri. So these are the 2 people who have been identified. It will take some more time for Delhi police to identify the rest of the people, the 6 other people who have been identified. We've been told by Delhi police top brass that most of the people who are dead are the one who were there in that riding in that particular car. So we have to see how many people were there in that car, and also whether there were any chemical in that car which reacted with other ingredients and CNG and caused this. So those are a few things that we have to wait for the investigative agencies to come out and provide us information. So we are waiting for that, Tanvi.
Okay, Tapas, a little bit more about the intensity of the blast. Yes, you've told us earlier that it was a loud blast, and of course, how long did the fire teams take to douse the flames? And also, if you could tell us if there was any damage to the metro station, the Red Fort metro station area as well.
Yes. Well, yes, in fact, there was some damage nearby the area. In fact, it has been cordoned off completely. I had a word with the Delhi Metro officials also. They told me that that particular gate, as well as the entry exit from Lal Killa, they have stopped. CISF is along with Delhi police have cordoned off the area to make sure that it's not contaminated, because many of the debris actually flew to nearby gate area. So that's one of the reasons why that has been shut down. So that's one part of it. The other part, could you repeat the question, Tanvi?
Yes, I was talking about the metro station that was damaged. Of course, you were giving us the report on that. And yes, you have mentioned about the security being tightened there. Yes, Tapas, it has been a long night. It will be a long night for you. Yes, we are all awaiting for more information coming out from this tragic incident in New Delhi. Yes, of course, as you told us earlier, the Chandni Chowk area has been closed, and of course, markets will remain closed tomorrow. So people are advised to follow all the authentic authentic information coming from the authentic handles of the Delhi Police and Delhi administration. Thank you very much, Tapas Bhattacharya, reporting from the Chandni Chowk area in New Delhi. We are heading for a short break here in the bulletin. When we come back, we speak to our expert on this tragic incident. Stay tuned to DD India.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome to the fascinating world of Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Unravel the rich history. And traditions of these places. Marvel at the stories that lie in its beautiful architecture. Bask in the tranquility of its greenery and beaches. Experience the agelessness of its traditional handicrafts and handloom industry.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja. A quick reminder of the headlines we're tracking at this hour. A blast near Red Fort reported in New Delhi. 8 feared dead, several injured. Prime Minister Modi condoles the loss of lives in the blast, reviews the situation. Home Minister Amit Shah visits the blast site. President Draupadi Murmu addresses the Angolan National Assembly, highlights women empowerment in India through grassroots democracy, addresses members of the Indian community in Angola. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a 2-day visit to Bhutan. The visit aims to strengthen special ties of friendship and cooperation between the two countries. US senators reach a deal to resume federal funding and end the 40-day government shutdown. And Donald Trump threatens legal action against the BBC as its chairman apologizes for error of judgment in the US president's speech edit. President Draupadi Murmu addressed the Indian community reception event in Angola. She also addressed the Angolan parliament during her visit to the African country. Addressing the National Assembly, President Murmu said that the relationship between India and Angola is based on mutual trust, respect and shared values and economic and social development. Both countries stand together on the international stage, she said. She also spoke about the strong parliamentary tradition between India and Angola.
भारत विश्व का सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र है और अंगोला अफ्रीका के सबसे गतिशील लोकतंत्रों में से एक है। दोनों ही इस विश्वास पर आधारित है कि प्रत्येक नागरिक की आवाज़ मायने रखती है और शासन का उद्देश्य कुछ लोगों की ही नहीं बल्कि सबकी सेवा है। हम दोनों देशों की संसदों के बीच एक्सचेंजेस और संसदीय व्यवस्था के सुचारू संचालन से जुड़ी बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को साझा करने का स्वागत करते हैं।
President Murmu also mentioned the representation of women in both countries and encouraged participation of women in Angola's parliament.
विश्व की सबसे बड़े लोकतंत्र की महिला राष्ट्रपति होने के नाते मुझे ये देखकर अत्यंत प्रसन्नता है कि अंगोला की संसद में महिलाओं का उल्लेखनीय प्रतिनिधित्व है। संसद के 39% से अधिक सदस्य महिलाएं हैं। ये जेंडर इक्वलिटी और इंक्लूसिव गवर्नेंस का प्रेरणादायक उदाहरण है।
And going back to the tragic news coming from New Delhi, the explosion where 8 people have died near Red Fort area. We are now joined by Ellen Rao, former Delhi Commissioner of Police, Delhi Police. Sir, on the basis of the information available, what is the greater likelihood that the explosion was due to a bomb or that it was an accidental blast and not a bomb, or is it too early to say?
Yes, Tanviji. Good evening to you and all your viewers. This is really a very tragic incident of this blast, which took life of about more than 13 people, and so many left injured in that case. While coming to the main cause of this blast, we must say that it's too early to say whether it's a bomb blast or it's an accidental blast, because the Hyundai i20 car was stated to be having some petrol and CNG version. So it means that the CNG cylinder was there in the under actual that blast took place on the rear side of this car. So the possibility of blast in the cylinder cannot be ruled out, and but the FSL authorities are there at the spot. They are looking into it. What have been remnants are there. If it was a cylinder blast, then definitely the pieces of that cylinder must have been found there to ascertain whether it's confirmed that it was really a cylinder blast. But if it was a bomb blast, then the traces of the chemicals and the explosion material, you can say this something like that RDX or something like that should have been found there. But till now, I think they have not concluded what is the actual substance they could found. But definitely FSL officials, NSG officials, NIA officials, and a special cell team who are investigating this case, they are all working on all these possibilities. And obviously the car owner have been also identified. Whether it has been the actual owner, final owner has not been traced so far. But he will also give a very good information about from where this car was coming, and the CCTV footage are also being analyzed. So taking into consideration all the possibilities of the investigation, I think this is not yet confirmed. As per the police, as well as the Home Minister also stated that is yet to be established. Even the police commissioner also said that we cannot say whether it's a bomb blast or an accidental blast in car. That all these things are to be considered while taking into the final result about the cause of this blast. So we definitely have to wait and watch about it, and only after conclusion of the investigation agencies with the consent of the CFSL Forensic Science Laboratory, people who are at the sport, definitely they will be able to find out the exact cause of this blast.
Okay. Ellen Raoji, the police and other security forces have been put on high alert across several states. What exactly does this state of high alert involve?
Definitely, in such type of incident when occurs in capital of India, that is Delhi, and that too near Red Fort, there's definitely a big concern about the security. And if there is a possibility of this bomb blast here, because it can be connected with that incident of seizure of the huge explosive and AK-47 in from two doctors in Haryana, that can also that can be also a connected case with that. And the final honor is stated to be of Pulwama. I-20 car, I think he is one Tariq from Pulwama. So all these factors can be attributing that it may be a terrorist attack. So that keeping in consideration that if there is a terrorist attack and in the morning Haryana, that seizure of huge explosive in Haryana, then these things can be imagined that there may be some other planning of the terrorist activities in other states also. So the intelligence agencies have been activated, and the high alert is definitely after such incident it is being imposed not only in Delhi but all in other states also, connected states like Haryana, Punjab, Jammu and Kashmir, and some other adjoining states. So it is a normal practice also. If such huge incident, I will say right now, I'll say it's incident. I cannot claim whether it's a bomb blast or something, but possibilities cannot be ruled out that it may be a bomb blast by terrorist activities. But keeping in consideration this fact, then that's why the high alert has been imposed in the other states also.
Okay. By when approximately, sir, would you say will the explosive experts be able to determine with certainty about what the nature of explosion was?
Tanvi, these explosive experts from Forensic Science Laboratory, they carry with the handheld detectives, handheld instruments to find out whether there was any explosive in that blast or not. By this time, they might have reached to the conclusion, but they are yet to disclose to the investigating agencies, or they might have disclosed to the investigating agencies, and they may be further corroborating other facts before coming to any conclusion about it. Of course, there's not much a big time takes place after visiting the sport and having these tools with their hand, the mobile tools to judge about this. Explosive items, if it is there, then I think the FSL authorities have done their work, but it's up to the investigating agency what they declare, and or considering all the other factors in view.
Okay. If you were asked to send out a message to the public after this explosion, whatever the nature of explosion be, what it would be, sir?
Definitely, it's a very serious incident, and the public should cooperate with the investigating officers. If they come across any suspicious person, or they have any information about it, they must share with the police so that the police can find out the real cause of this incident as soon as possible. And the public should not panic about all these things, because it's a history of Delhi police that all these such type of serious incidents have been worked out. If it is a terrorist blast, definitely the terrorists who are responsible for committing this incident, they will be definitely traced and arrested as soon as possible, because almost all the 99% cases have been worked out. People should have faith in police, faith in the investigating agencies. They should not panic, and definitely they should be alert all around. Because in future also there may be some incident. If this is a terrorist attack, definitely it's very serious for capital of India, and or also the serious about India, because so many other the so-called neighbor countries like Pakistan or other sporting countries, they don't want to see India flourishing like this. They definitely want to disturb our peace and tranquility. So we must be unite, and we must have faith in the investigating agency, government agencies, and they should not panic and cooperate with the investigating agencies.
Indeed. When the Pahalgam attack took place, within a few hours only, we had a terrorist group of the JNK taking responsibility. So far, there has been no responsibility taken for this blast. So, of course, we are still awaiting more information as the investigation concludes. In situations such as these, what would you say? You've been a former DCP of Delhi. Does the media also have a special responsibility as regards its reporting? Because we are living in an age of fake news as well.
Yes, Tanvi, yes, you are right that I had served special cell, that is anti-terrorist unit of Delhi police for more than 15 years continuously. So definitely, and the media has also responsibility. They should not panic. They should not spread all the any fake news, so that the people of India may not be disturbed or may not be get panic about it. Or this is very important aspect you have told about, Tanvi, that the terrorist attack, if it is done by some organizations, they definitely in each and every such big attack, they take responsibility. And in this case, so far nothing has been, no responsibility has been taken. So this also indicates that it may not be a terrorist attack, because if such a big attack was there, definitely some organizations who are instrumental in committing this crime, that they could have taken this responsibility. But still, we have to keep the fingers across to find out the actual version or conclusion by the investigating agency, Tanvi.
Okay, thank you very much, Ellen Rauji, for taking out the time at this odd hour and speaking to DD India.
Thank you, Tanvi. Thank you.
All right, let's now give you details of President Murmu's visit to Angola. President Murmu visited the Memorial Antonio Agostinho Neto in Luanda, Angola. She laid a wreath at the memorial at Agostinho Neto. Agostinho Neto was the first president of Angola who had led the popular movement for the liberation of Angola in the war for independence of Angola. Neto is also known as the then popular poet and writer in the country and revered by the people of Angola. President Draupadi Murmu later visited the fortress of St. Michael National Museum of Military History, and she went around the exhibits there in Angola. India's President Draupadi Murmu's next stop is Botswana, where her state visit will begin from Tuesday. During her visit, a special symbolic cheetah handover event will be held on Wednesday at Mokolo Day Nature Reserve, where both heads of the state will jointly witness the release of cheetahs that were recently captured in Ganzi. DD India's Shabir Dar, who is in Botswana, spoke exclusively to Dr. Eric Verreyn, Senior Veterinary Officer of India's Project Cheetah.
India and Botswana share a common vision of wildlife conservation, and it is part of this vision that Botswana is donating 8 cheetahs to India. To talk more on this, I am joined by Dr. Eric. Botswana is considered as the stronghold of cheetahs. Tell us something about the cheetahs in Botswana.
Cheetah, as you know, is vulnerable. There are only about 7,000 individuals, just over 7,000 left in the world. We are very, very fortunate in Botswana and our neighboring country, Namibia, that we are harboring nearly half the world's population of cheetah. And the big threat to cheetah is really space, which brings them into conflict. And we are quite lucky in the sense that both Namibia and Botswana has got space. 65% of our wildlife, and that includes a large part of our cheetah population, actually occur outside our protected areas. And this is the reason why we were actually able to capture these cheetah on game ranches outside protected areas and even wildlife management areas. And then we transported them here, and we are now preparing them for quarantine before they are able to go to India.
So can you tell us about the arrangements being made here about the final cheetah handover event?
It's actually very exciting. I mean, the fact that we are going to host the President of India here, the first time in the history of Botswana, and it's even more appropriate that it is about cheetahs. So what will happen is that His Excellency, the President of Botswana, is going to officially hand over these cheetahs to His Excellency the President of India. And as part of the ceremony, we are going to release some of these cheetah into the quarantine as a start of quarantine.
On to other news of the day. After a record 40-day government shutdown, the US Senate has taken a major step towards reopening the government. In a procedural vote, senators advanced a House-approved funding bill that keeps the government running through January 30th, along with 3 full-year spending measures. Here's more on the Senate proceedings by Mohammad Afsarul Hassan.
The US Senate has advanced a deal to end the record 40-day government shutdown. In a procedural vote, senators moved forward a House-passed bill to fund the government through January 30, along with 3 full-year spending measures.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative, the motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
The measure still faces a final Senate vote before heading to the House. Republicans reached the deal with a group of Democrats in exchange for a December vote on extending Affordable Care Act (ACA) subsidies for low-income Americans. The 60-40 vote met the threshold to overcome a Senate filibuster. President Donald Trump also signaled that an end to the shutdown may be near, while maintaining his stance on immigration funding.
Well, it looks like we're getting very close to the shutdown. We'll never agree to give any substantial money or any money to really prisoners, illegals that come into our country. And I think the Democrats understand that.
The move is seen as a setback for Democratic leader Chuck Schumer after several Democrats sided with Republicans to temporarily end the shutdown. As part of the deal, Republicans agreed to hold a vote in December on continuing health insurance subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, a key Democratic goal that helps low-income Americans pay for private coverage. The subsidies are due to expire at the end of the year, adding pressure to the funding talks.
There was zero chance of dealing with the ACA issue as long as the shutdown continued. Now, I don't know, 50-50, but there's a lot better chance now than there was this morning because nothing was happening and there was no evidence that another week or another 2 weeks or Thanksgiving or Christmas was suddenly the Republicans were to come to us and say, oh, we want to now talk about the ACA. If they weren't going to do it by now, what's going to change in the next 2 weeks that's going to make them do it?
My vote today was to do 2 things, both equally morally important and imperative. One is to make sure that the government is functioning so that our kids eat, so that our elderly citizens eat, so that our air traffic controllers can get some sleep and earn money, get paid while they are working, so that our veterans are protected, and continue the fight to a realistic platform to get the premium tax cuts done. And if that is not successful, then shame on the Republican Party and shame on Donald Trump.
The US government has been shut down since October, leaving more than 1 million federal employees unpaid and disrupting a range of services, including SNAP, food benefits, and air travel. As of now, both Republicans and Democrats have agreed to a deal, bringing a sigh of relief to millions of Americans. Mohammad Afsarul Hassan for DD India.
On to Europe now. The publicly funded British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, has been embroiled in a spate of allegations that it had failed to maintain political neutrality in its reporting, including in its coverage of Donald Trump, the Israel-Hamas war, and over transgender issues. BBC Director General Tim Davie and its news CEO Deborah Turner stepped down on Sunday following these accusations. But there's more to the story than what meets the eye. Take a look. Following the resignation of BBC Director General Tim Davie and News CEO Deborah Turness, BBC Chairman Samir Shah on Monday apologized for editing a speech that suggested Donald Trump had directly instigated an attack on the US Capitol, resulting in the dramatic resignations of the broadcaster's top brass. In a letter to British lawmakers on Monday, BBC Chair Samir Shah wrote, "The BBC accepts the way the speech was edited did give the impression of a direct call for violent action. The BBC would like to apologize for that error of judgment. It is absolutely clear the BBC must champion impartiality." Earlier, BBC Director General Tim Davie and News CEO Deborah Turness both quit on Sunday following the accusations.
Well, I'm prepared to take the appropriate disciplinary action all the way to termination.
I stepped down over the weekend because the buck stops with me. But I'd like to make one thing very clear. BBC News is not institutionally biased. That's why it's the world's most trusted news provider.
So what is at the heart of this controversy? Let's find out. In Trump's speech in Washington, D.C. on 6 January 2021, he had said, "We are going to walk down to the Capitol and we are going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women." However, in the panorama edit, he was shown saying, "We are going to walk down to the Capitol and I'll be there with you. And we fight like hell." The two sections that were stitched together were originally more than 50 minutes apart. US President Donald Trump promptly celebrated, accusing BBC journalists of being corrupt and dishonest. Just a few hours after the resignations, US President took to Truth Social to thank the Telegraph newspaper for exposing these corrupt journalists. That's not all. BBC News on Monday said it had received threat for legal action from Trump over the controversial speech edit. The White House, too, had recently denounced the broadcaster as a propaganda machine. BBC, which is funded by a license fee paid by all television-watching households, comes under intense scrutiny from opposition parties, viewers and critics alike. Reform UK party leader Nigel Farage said that the BBC has been institutionally biased for decades.
BBC has been institutionally biased for decades. I well remember the Wilson report 2 decades ago, saying the BBC were not covering areas like Europe and immigration with any sense of impartiality. And you could, add on to that net zero, climate change, all their interpretation of the horrors that have happened in Gaza, and now, of course, the United States president.
We don't know yet what happened within the labyrinthine committee meetings and discussions in the BBC, but the BBC was slow to respond to the latest allegations, and I think they were flat-footed for 3 or 4 days when the story broke about the Michael Prescott dossier. That said, the Director General of the BBC is the most enormous job. It's a simple question. Is DG of the BBC too big a job for one person? And does it need the BBC to rethink the way it handles both its editorial and its chief executive officer?
Widely respected around the world, the BBC still tops polls in Britain on the most trusted news brand and has huge reach in the country, providing news, entertainment and sport. Tanvi Taneja for DD India. And that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and the world on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.